coffee brewing as the sun peeks through the haze. Birds are chirping, serenading morning's praise. Front porch creaks as dreams fade away. America's awakened to a brand new day. Old vinyl spinning a sweet old tune. Day starts dancing under a sleepy moon. Loose print smudges on fingers of grace. America's awakened at her own steady pace. Sips of sunshine in a coffee cup. Simple moments lifting spirits up. From the mountains to the sandy shore. Morning in America, want just a little more. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awakened with a heart full of shine. Old vinyl spinning a sweet old tune. Day starts dancing under a sleepy moon. Newsprint smudges on fingers of grace. America's awakened at her own steady pace. Sips of sunshine in a coffee cup. Simple moments lifting spirits up. From the mountains to the sandy shore. Morning in America, want just a little more. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awakened with a heart full of shine. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awakened with a heart full of shine. Tractors rumble, fields coming alive. Big wheels turning where hopes and dreams strive. Laughter echoes down the old dirt road. America's awakened to lighten her load. America's awakened to lighten her load.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning. Let's see. ABCM channel, good morning. Good to see you. AVA is here. Welcome. Nancy's here. Good morning. Alokana in Singapore. Good morning. Good to have you here. Winnie's here. Good morning. Yankee Bell is here. Welcome. Native Pride is here. Good morning to you. Tammy is here. Good morning. I'm looking to see who else. Voss is here. Good morning. Fire Dad's here. Did I miss anybody? Oh, it's me is here. Good morning. Bama fuel is $2.47 a gallon here. I'm paying almost double what you are. I do want to give you guys an update on some stuff. Hold on here. Let me find it. It's an image. And there we go. Judy's here. Good morning. So this is my little indoor garden. Everything is doing well. There was a problem when I was on vacation. As you can see on the far left, my raspberries, I got some of those that are dead. I did have a watering system in there, but for some reason it only watered half of it. So half of them are good, the other half have died. But the ones that are doing well, as you can see, are doing very well. And in the middle is my lime tree, and you can see how far up that extends. And then on the very far right, that is my my tomatoes. So yeah, we are doing very well with all that stuff. So I just want to give, because some people ask me, and I just want to give a bit of an update there. Where is my So there we go. That's an update on my little indoor garden that I've got. Uh, I'm just looking to see if anyone asked me anything that I wanted to address. I don't see anything. Okay, okay. Um, did you guys watch TC's live last night? Let me just say, TC, he was the man about town. Was that Yogi? Good morning, Yogi. Mil Tevet. Make sure you guys subscribe to them. They do a really good show. They help a lot of people. Uh, TC was man about town. He was walking around. They do a little street fair thing. I don't know if they do it weekly, um, but they do it there in Spring Valley, Minnesota. And he was just walking around talking to people, really nice people. And he's been covering their flooding that they've had. Uh, so it was good to see that it looks like the floodwaters have receded a little bit. They're still dealing with some flooding, which they will until that those waters move out of the area. They move a little bit slow. It is Yogi. Okay, good morning, Yogi. We got to plan something. I got to come down your way. Um, but yeah, it was good to see TC, and everyone was so happy to see TC. And we know TC is he can be very argumentative. He likes to debate, but this is why I say he needs to run for office. I know he's very politically minded, but he does care about his local community. And he, just he's done a lot, and he's been very active in his community, and you can see that. And it was just such a positive thing. And he had when I was watching, I saw at one point he had over 200 people watching, and he did show me like he had a ton of views afterwards. And I'm very happy for him, but that also shows, when you are someone, yeah, he's a critic of his politicians, but he also like it's all about making everything better. Jeanette, good morning. Shanemesis, good morning. Uh, Nancy, I said good morning to you, Nancy. And Laura, good morning. Larice, I just saw Larice. Good morning. Good morning. Um, so yeah, he really does try to make his community a better place. He was promoting businesses, veterans businesses. I did see that. Um, and yeah, he got a lot of views out of it, and well deserved, very well deserved. TC for mayor, yeah, like he would do a very good job. I'll tell you this right now, people would be treated fairly. And can we ask for anything better of our government officials just to be treated fairly? Um, how come your fans don't hit the like button? Well, because we need people to be reminded sometimes. So yeah, everyone hit the like button. Good morning, Karen's Books. Good morning. Good to see you. Um, yeah, everyone needs a reminder some days. Let me pull up. Did you guys see that guy who hit the ICE agent, or not the ICE agent, but the DHS agent that are in DC with the sandwich? He threw his Subway sandwich. They did arrest him. It turns out he works for the DOJ. Like, really? You work for the Department of Justice and you act like that to Homeland Security employees? Like, are you the world's dumbest lawyer? Uh, Speaking of stupid lawyers, Lips, uh, her uh, m- her foreclosure on her house has restarted. So they were foreclosing on her house, but then her and her husband filed for divorce. Some people have suggested, well, some people have suggested that the divorce is false. Some people have said no, they're actually divorcing. But the people who suggested it's false have said that it's a delay tactic. Oh, there's Bestie. It's a delay tactic to stop their home from being foreclosed upon. Because then they can say, "Oh, it's his responsibility to pay the mortgage. It's her responsibility," and that all gets tied up in the court system. So some people have suggested that, but it is moving forward yet again, uh, which just goes to show Lynette, Lips, all these people, Stupid Dave, they all, it's just delay tactics and it doesn't go away. If Newsom Fatter would have been smart enough to understand how a condom works, your fuel would be cheaper. Well, yeah. Uh, yeah, if his father was smarter. Well, his dad was pretty crazy too. Oh, Coop is here. Good morning, Coop. Good to see you. I don't know if Mama Coop's here yet. She might be waking up. Um, so yeah, there was those legal things. The other thing that so I got a thing in my email yesterday. They are asking not military members. They're asking DoD employees if they would be willing to temporarily get assigned duty on the border and assist with customs and border protection. That is crazy to me. Like th- that shows you um how serious they are about this. Like last time they assigned the military. Now the military assigned. Now they're also saying, "Hey, temporarily will any of these DoD employees because it border security does partially fall within the military and DoD's scope." So they can do that. I'm sure there's going to be liberals who are like, "You can't do that. That's illegal." No, it's perfectly legal. If they fight it in court, eventually it'll get to an appeals court. I'm sure there'll be some activist judge that says you can't do that, but then it'll get to the appeals court and they'll say, "Yeah, they can do that. Stop." Which is exactly what you're saying. What was the thing I saw the other day? The Customs or the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Uh, they were Trump replaced people because they were like, "Well, in the bill that we passed, you can't replace these people." It doesn't matter that you put that in the bill. That is illegal. And while it's still in the bill, it doesn't like just because the court finds something illegal doesn't mean they take it out of the bill. It's still in US law. It's just that there's case law that says, yeah, that sounds constitutional. We're not following it. So until that bill is replaced, that language remains in there. Um, oh, thank you, Beth. Welcome, Beth, and Anne. Anne, welcome. Um, yeah, thank you for all being here. I appreciate it. Um, what's the crimes that took down Al Capone? Well, Al Capone, they were looking for anything to put him in jail because he was a power broker, so that they took him down for tax evasion. But that doesn't always, you know, like you can do that if you're looking to get someone off the street, but really you should be like if you know someone's breaking the law, you should be going after them for the stuff that you know you can get them for. Um, you know, I we shouldn't be looking into people just to put them away unless they are, like in charge of an organized crime organization type of thing. Like you could probably, and the Supreme Court's has gone through this, and they used Stalin's words: "You show me the man, and I'll show you the crime." There are people like everybody takes risks in their life. Everybody has that area where maybe they'll break the law. Doesn't mean we need to go after people for every minor offense. Um, but if they are breaking the law and very clearly in a very public way, investigate them for that. Just like with the J6 people, the January 6 people. Yeah, I would never have gone into the Capitol. It was trespassing and vandalism. That's what they should have been. Clear majority should have been prosecuted for, but instead they were, no, this is treason. And they were going and they were the one charge of what do they call it? Something of government process, like interference with government process. It's like, no, that's overcharging, and that's what you can't overplay your hand. And that's what was happening. Jem Baroque, welcome. Beth, welcome. Good to see you, Beth. Who else we got here? I thought we had someone else that I haven't. If I haven't said good morning to you or hello to you, please let me know. But yeah, like you don't overplay your hand. You just hold people accountable. That's all you have to do. But with a lot of these, like you saw where these protesters were getting arrested and then being released on $50 bond, and then their things. No, you have to hold people accountable, even if it's you know, even if it's for a misdemeanor offense. You just hold them accountable because they'll do it again if you don't. And that's what you're seeing. Like all these people who are mad that Trump went into DC, you realize DC screwed that up. The the violent crime rate per 100,000 people is 27 in DC. Do you know what LA is? LA 7 for that same statistic. That is crazy. DC has screwed that up. Mortgage fraud is easy to prove. Did you sign this conviction? Well, yeah, and you're seeing them do that with Adam Schiff, and you're seeing them doing that with Letitia James, uh, which is ironic because that's what Letitia James was claiming that Trump had did. Um, I don't. I know they had a jury that found guilty, but they went to a very favorable area and got a very favorable jury. That's not justice, and I think all those Trump convictions are going to get overturned by the time they get to the Supreme Court. Like the ones that what was the one judge um, where they held off for a while? His definitely. Um, The same thing with saying Mar-a-Lago is only worth 18 million. Come on. Come on. Um, People were asking me if I watched the new South Park. No, I normally wait until the season's done or at least halfway because I do like to binge some episodes. So I don't like if you're going to give me 6 episodes and then make me wait for another 6, I'm fine with that. But watching one every week, that's how I grew up as a kid and I hated it. Because what happens if I'm busy next week? So that's why I don't like watching things that come out every week. Um, the US won't enforce car fuel economy. Why should they? Why should they? Um, yeah, the congressional maps in Texas, those were passed. Well, that was always going to happen. And to the liberals who are mad, I would say, well, maybe you probably shouldn't have played games with the census. You started including um, illegal immigrants who should not have been included in the census, and you gave Texas and Florida way more power. You play political games, you get political games. Yeah, I mean, there's other redistricting, but it's not going to have the impact like Ohio's redistricting. They're they might pick up a seat or two. In Texas, they're going to pick up like 6 to 8. Um, what is it in here? I'll actually pull it up. And if they do it in Florida, they could pick up 10. And why is that? Because you counted illegal immigrants. Um, so in Texas, it'll be four. That's how many it is in Texas. So they would have picked up 4 seats, and it's like that's much different than fighting for 1 seat here, 1 seat there. But that's in California, like, oh, we have this independent board. Okay, whatever. But they're even trying to remove that because they know this is going to be seen as overtly political, and they're like, no, we're going to pass a law so we only do it for these 2 years. Just stop. Just stop. LA is redistricting. Well, LA can't redistrict. The state of California has to. LA can do it for its own like city council stuff. They can do it for that, but not for Congress. That's not how that works. It's the state who decides. And I'm just saying that. I'm sure you understand that. It's me. I'm just saying that for others who might not know. Oh, there's TC. TC, your ears must have been burning because I was talking about you and your live from last night. Um, your next Ford might be able to dig holes, according to this patent. Is this what we need? A c- I would much rather the driverless cars. Do we really need? I mean, I could see where some people might need a car that digs holes. Let's see what this looks like. It's the Bronco Wild Track. Okay, come on, just show me. I don't care about the fluff. Okay, they're not showing it. Where vehicles can crab walk, turn like tanks, and more. Uh, as yet to be. I mean, I don't know if that's actually a good thing. Turning like a tank, it really does tear up roads, and it will tear up your tires. I mean, maybe somebody needs it for getting stuck. It could be important. It could be help. So maybe for people stuck in the snow, I could see where that would help. But for me, no. Um, no English, no driving, big trucks. What to know about the crackdown? Well, yeah, we had 3 people that died in Florida. And I ask, how did that guy pass to get his commercial driver's license? Like, we depend on CDLs for because that's a lot of weight, and there's a lot of people who die on our roads. So we depend on CDLs. So are you just giving CDLs out to illegal, like just to everybody? That's a problem. I think the state of California should have a wrongful death. The trucking agency and the licensing agency should all be held accountable. um, they're talking here about Dakota Johnson and Melanie Griffith. Here's one thing I didn't know about her that I learned recently. Did you know Melanie Griffith? Her family had exotic pets growing up, like lions and tigers, and she was actually attacked by one, and I think she had reconstructive surgery. Let me see if I can pull it up. Um, uh, yeah, she lived with her father and part-time in Antelope Valley, California, where her mother formed an animal preserve called Shambhala. She worked in advertising, briefly appeared as a model. Da, da, da. Okay, they don't talk about the attack. Um, um, she was attacked by a lion during filming of the movie Roar. The incident occurred when Griffith was 13 years old, sustaining a facial injury that required reconstructive surgery and 50 stitches, according to a Reddit post. It was initially feared that she might lose an eye, but recovered without being disfigured. The attack and the injury were even captured on film. These exotic pet people, like the one that threatened me, they're crazy. Like they have a mental illness. They are crazy. Uh, anyone who is about stuff like that, yeah, crazy. Okay, there we go. I was just taking care of something. I just had to send something real quick. But yeah, TC did a great job in that live. A really great job. And like I've been saying, I think TC should run for sheriff. Like You, who would be a better sheriff than somebody who wants law enforcement accountability? We saw the sweet side of TC yesterday. Absolutely. What was it you called him? Sweet tea? Almost 20,000 views. Yep. Well deserved. Um, yeah. Oh, did you hear about this one? Lake Tahoe up in Northern California. They had a breakout of the plague. This is not England in the 13th century, folks. California resident tests positive for plague after camping in South Lake Tahoe. Infected person likely contracted the illness from a flea bite while camping, said health officials. Um, this is the first such infection reported in the county since 2020, when a case of human plague was also traced back to the South Lake Tahoe area, the Public Health Division advised. Um, Plague is caused by the bacterium Yersinia pestis and is most often transmitted to humans and other mammals via flea bites or handling infected animals. Rodent fleas spread the bacteria to people, dogs, cats after becoming infected by squirrels, chipmunks, and other wild rodents. 80% of the U.S. plague cases have been the bubonic form, also known as the Black Plague, said the CDC. Uh, So the most common symptoms of the plague in the United States, bubonic, appear within 2 weeks of exposure. They include fever, headaches, chills, nausea, weakness, swollen lymph nodes. To protect yourself, do not feed squirrels, chipmunks, or other wild rodents. Reduce rodent habitat around your home, workplace, recreational areas. Never touch sick, injured, or dead rodents. Wear gloves if you're handling or skinning potentially infected animals. Do not allow your pets to play with or pick up sick, injured, or dead rodents. Do not camp, sleep, rest near animal burrows or areas where dead rodents are observed. Wear long pants tucked into boot tops. Spray repellent containing DEET. Pet cats are highly susceptible to plague and can pose a direct threat to humans. Um, so go see a physician. There you go. Yeah. Did you see the Cracker Barrel logo? I put out some stuff about this. So this is the Cracker Barrel current logo. Where's the new one? That looks like complete shit. Like they need to they need to either change this or get rid of that CEO. This does not look enticing at all. This Um, yeah, this one here, this looks homely. You know, it's like, oh, this is a place where I could go. This looks like crap. Oh, there we go. Yeah. I could even see if you kind of change, the name, but like, why are you removing the dude in the barrel? Like, that's what it's all about. The news station team. Yeah, that was a funny part. Uh, yeah, the backlash, cold and sterile. Yeah, I agree with that. I feel like this new logo is ruining my life. Um, Other people embracing the cheers to the new logo. How can you like this? Like, that is so bland and disgusting. Like, it just doesn't work for me. That's a no for me, dog. Oh, so yeah. Um, South Park brutally mocks Trump. Who cares? Okay, that's what you're supposed to do. Trump is the president. People are supposed to make fun of him. You know, uh, they're like, "Oh, Trump was upset." Okay, I didn't see anything about it. Oh, there are reports. Okay, you saw Charlie Kirk. If you didn't see Charlie Kirk's reaction to South Park making fun of him, that like he was like, "Hey, yeah." we're part of the lexicon, which is the way to embrace that. He was like, they can keep making fun of me. They did a good job. If they wanted to simplify the logo, why not make the background image a barrel and just have the name on top? That right? Like that's what I would have done. I would have changed the logo to the barrel with the name on it. Like there it makes sense. But you get too many of these people, these corporate people who they want to make things corporate. Corporate is bland. It is 100% bland because they're generally trying to, oh, we have to increase our appeal. Sometimes increasing your appeal hurts your brand. There's a type of person who goes to Cracker Barrel. There is. Uh, don't move away from that. That's McDonald's. McDonald's brand was kids. They moved away from it, and for the first time ever, McDonald's started uh, seeing their profits go down. That's why, because they wanted. Oh, we're gonna be a coffee shop. Does anyone want to go to McDonald's for coffee? No. Like I've seen people who go to McDonald's and have coffee with their neighbors. We've got a small veterans group. They go to a local place here and they have coffee with each other and they just talk, about like how I'm talking with you guys. That's why I called this coffee with the skipper. This is what I wanted to do. And I just wanted to talk about things that are happening. Not no structure, just me drinking my coffee, BSing. And that's what those guys do. Um, you know, but McDonald's wanted to break into Starbucks market. Starbucks sucks, their coffee sucks, but I recognize that they have a brand. I do not like their stuff, but they have a brand. They have a very noticeable brand. Um, I think Cracker Barrel by doing this is actually hurting their brand. Like there's a benefit to being a niche. There really is because you know as as bad as you think about fighting at Waffle House, it has become a niche. Um, so if you fight at a Waffle House, or if you go to a Waffle House and you're like, "Oh yeah, we're looking for I wanna see a fight," it's a niche thing, but Waffle House also cooks the food right there in front of you, like, so you can see the health standards and stuff. So there are some benefits to their brand. It's also, a place that's gonna be open late, so that's part of their brand as well. If they were to move from that, it would hurt them. Same thing with Taco Bell. Taco Bell is known as a late night place. When I was overseas and I lived in Abu Dhabi and Dubai, going for shawarma after the bars closed, that was a brand, that was a thing. Um, I don't wanna eat at McDonald's. Their McDonald's fills a need. In fact, I forget what's the one guy who wins all the marathons, and he was in the Olympics? The 2 weeks prior to him competing, he only eats McDonald's, and specifically, he likes, McDonald's chicken nuggets, and here's why. It's a bland food. McDonald's is not great food. Um, but they have consistent food standards. If you go How many times have you seen people get, food poisoning from McDonald's? It's a very trustworthy brand. It's not gonna be health food, but I'll tell you this, it'll be cooked well. Whereas other and that's why he goes to that. He knows he's not gonna get food poisoning or sick from eating at McDonald's. It's not the world's healthiest food, but it's healthy enough for his last final days before a competition. Whereas other people go to these other, fancier restaurants for health food, they have a higher tendency to get sick of food poisoning and other stuff because there's more variation in the food. Coffee is good. I'm on my third cup this morning, my second pot. Uh, Shared with my local police that was working with an incident in my complex this morning. Oh, okay. Never been to a Waffle House. So for those of you who are Facebook friends, when we were on vacation, I took my son to his first Waffle House because they're not out here in California. Yeah, the corporate image isn't cohesive with Cracker Barrel. Cracker Barrel's old fashioned comfort food. Yep, rustic. Like that logo fit them. It fit them. And yeah, they should be if they're gonna redo a logo. I get it, but I think they hurt their brand. Eating one McD's French fry is, and it's like new Coke. Just because just because you're like, oh, we need to redo and rebrand, and so it doesn't always work better. Like I am very protective, believe it or not, of the Veteran Nation brand. I There are things I will not do because I understand my brand. Like, and some people say my brand is me. To a point, it is, but it's also TC. It's also AVA. They're both on this channel, just as just like how I am. Uh, and I don't just let anyone onto my channel, and I also don't just talk about anything. I There are people who bring me stuff, and I'll acknowledge, and I'll be like, yeah, and I'll talk with them offline about it, but I'm not going to talk about it on camera. The things that Megan was talking about last night. Uh, I'm no fan of Stupid Dave, but I'm not going to talk about those things at this point because of my brand. Will I talk about them later? Maybe. It depends on. There's a couple things I would be concerned about. But yeah, right now I'm not going to discuss it. And there's things I will take risks on. And you guys have seen that. I'll bring a Bruce on. Someone pops in and starts talking smack. There, I might bring someone like that on and debate them because I know there's a positive goal for me, but there is a risk. They have went plain gray and white inside. Are you talking about McDonald's? Yeah, but with that, okay, if you were gonna start a restaurant, okay, if you were gonna start a restaurant, McDonald's, like when I was a kid, a McDonald's birthday party or a Pizza Hut birthday party, those were like, I am not missing. I was like, no, mom, we can't miss this birthday party. It's at McDonald's. Those were the cool ones. Um, where do you go today? There's still Chuck E. Cheese, but and Chuck E. Cheese has pretty much assumed all of that kids branding, but uh, my nearest Chuck E. Cheese is an hour away. So if you were to start a restaurant, focusing on kids actually is a pretty smart branding move because the competition has moved away from it. I was just talking yesterday to someone about Toys R Us. If you look at why Toys R Us went bankrupt, it wasn't because they did anything wrong. A hedge fund started buying them out and ordered them first to sell all their land to the hedge fund and then start paying leases. So they own. Hey, Julie, good to have you here. Good. I was in your stream yesterday. Good to see you. Um, yeah, they had all this land that was paid off that now they have to pay for again. And the other thing that Toys R Us had is they had these huge warehouses of inventory. So when times were good, they had a very smart business model. They'd buy a lot of toys and build up their inventory. Then when the economy would start turning, they would grab that inventory and discount it. So people were like, oh, I still need to get my kids' toys, but this is cheaper than other places, so I'll start getting this. And they were incredibly, incredibly smart. Well, then the hedge fund made them after they made them get rid of the land, now they made them get rid of the inventory. And as soon as the everything started downturn, okay, now we got to close them all up. Uh, Now here's the thing: if you were a business person, if you were going to start a um, uh, a toys business like what Toys R Us was, incredibly smart. There's a market still there. Just no one's fulfilling it. There's niche toy stores, but there's not like a Toys R Us one anymore. And yeah, KB Toys. Yeah, like they've there's no one coming in and fulfilling that brand. So you know maybe one of these bigger companies will recognize that. The problem is if you are a publicly traded company, you're susceptible. That's what they tried to do to GameStop, and everyone talks about the meme stop. GameStop is a very healthy company today, and because people loved GameStop and they saw what happened to these other companies, it became a meme, and that's why Roaring Kitty was like, "Hey, I'm looking at their financials. This is a very healthy company," and he started buying GameStop stock and just was like, "I'm not selling it. They can short it all they want. I'm not selling." And when other people were like, "Yeah, we're going to buy that too," all they had to do was hold on to that stock, and a lot of them are still holding. And those people, those hedge funds that were shorting the stock, they're the ones now in dire straits. So in Philly, they had Kitty City. Yeah, if someone were to, if it would be hard for just an individual to do it, but if like a group of investors that already had stuff, if they did some stuff like that, they'd probably be successful. Malls, malls have all gone corporate, and that is why malls died. If you go overseas, malls flourish, and you go into any mall in the US today, they are charging so much money just to go in there. It used to be malls where, yeah, you'd have your J.C. Penney or your uh Montgomery Ward or your Macy's, Bloomingdale's. You'd have those stores, but then when you went in there would be smaller stores. You go into a mall today, it's all cookie cutter corporate stuff because that's the only place that can afford malls anymore. And I'll tell you one that is keeping them alive is Spencer's. Spencer's, do you guys know that Spencer's owns Spirit Halloween? And they have figured out, yeah, Spencer's will be our set one in the mall. But Spirit Halloween, that's how we're going to boost our profits right before end of yearly earnings call. Because they'll do a Spencer and they'll gauge by how good is the market, and that's going to determine what they do. Same thing, they're buying inventory. Spencer's is a very smart company, and again, Spencer's is a niche. They're like, hey, we have this niche, and then we're going to do Spirit Halloween, which is another niche. And I jokingly said, "Is it Spirit Halloween season yet?" Because this time of year where they start opening up all the Spirit Halloweens. Yeah, anchor stores can be good, but if it, like I think Bucky's is filling the need that malls used to. It's a place where you can go that Bucky's they have their own products, but locally they do. I have seen where Bucky's has local products. So, your local vendors are going to find places to go. Out here where I live, farmers markets. Your local vendors love the farmers market. I've got a business plan here where if I were to open a general store, I would let local vendors be like, "Hey, yeah, you can rent a kiosk from us and just have a little thing." I did look at that business plan because it's a rural area. Again, if you do rural branding, you'll be fine. I do like a Cracker Barrel type thing. Again, they're a little country store. It's all very niche. It's gotten like the last couple times I went in there, they had like more corporate stuff, like stuff that I was like, okay, yeah, I'd never buy this. Like not Hummels, but stuff like that. Um, and the more of that stuff they get, the more they're moving away from their brand. You can do a little bit of it, but you don't want to get way too over. Bass Pro Shops is another one of these general stores. They don't do many local vendors, but I think they're missing out. I think if they did like Bass Pro Local as just another like farmers market, I think they would. I think they'd make a killing. Uh, I see hungry people. I don't go to the mall. Well, yeah, because the malls today suck. They've pushed out all your local people. I mean, you'll go to the mall if you want to go to um, Bath and Body Works, or Borders is still, or Barnes and Noble. They're still there. That's how they've survived. Is just stopping with standalones and going to the malls. Um, I'm trying to think, like, but yeah, our mall there's a mall in Palm Springs, and it's either corporate or like there used to be a coffee shop that was Harry Potter themed, and it lasted a year. It was a really cool place. I always would buy my nieces. They were into Harry Potter, so I'd buy them stuff there. And yeah, it was a locally owned place, and they got pushed out because it was just too expensive. Dick's Sporting Goods is at the mall. Um, but yeah, like w- every mall now wants to be these high end malls, and it's like not every mall. Like I'll go to an outlet mall near me if I want to go to something high end. I'm not going to go to my local mall. Yeah, very important guest Sunday, 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. So that is 2 or no, 10 a.m. Pacific. It's Spike. I liked it, but I wish they had Mogwai. That you mean like Gizmo? Woolworths Five and Dime. I think Wanamaker's was a higher society department store. Yeah, Woolworths. I mean, a Five and Dime, cheap stuff, a lot of local stuff. Um, why is it when they remodel they go with grays and no color? Because it's corporate. They're going with this is a color that won't offend the masses. It's the same reason that the hey Mama Coop, good morning, and I didn't say good morning to Sear or Jam. Good morning. Um, when you go to chow halls in the military, the food stinks. It's very bland because they're trying to appeal to everybody's palate. They did a little bit better when they created like a fast food line. You can go get like, burgers and hot dogs. Um, but that still didn't save the chow halls anymore. Yeah, they made it very bland. I think what they should do with they're having a hard time with the commissaries, and like the Mandani in New York has sparked this debate about opening up government-owned grocery stores. They fail all the time, and the biggest ones. Sorry, I got a little bug in here flying around. The biggest ones are the military commissaries. They're failing. They lose like 3 billion a year, and the government has to like make up that. And the problem with that is they you can only do it if you are a DoD employee, or you can shop there if you're a DoD employee, or you're 100% disabled veteran, or you're a military member. That's the only people. What I think they should do is, hey, if you're a military member, you can come shop all you want. If you're a DoD employee, we're going to follow the uh, Costco and Sam's Club model. You pay us $5 a month, you can come shop here and get all these savings. You're a disabled veteran, okay, yeah, you're gonna pay $6 a month. If you have no affiliation, you're gonna pay $14 a month, and you still can come shop. Like there, you're not limiting. And the other thing is, you're front load by doing the subscription model. You're front loading your profit. You're ensuring you're locking in that profit, and then people get the savings. And just follow those I don't like big box retailers, but follow those retailers. Target and Walmart have essentially the same business plan. They don't pay when you go to Walmart, that box of cereal has not been paid for yet. It's not paid for until you grab it and buy it. So Walmart does not have warehouses. Food does it gets direct delivered to Walmart, and that's why Walmart was able to beat out so many other places, is because they don't carry an inventory. I'm looking at the time, guys. I need to get going. Thank you guys so much for being here. I think this was a good discussion. Um, good to see all you guys this morning. I am around if anyone needs me for anything. Um, just be patient with me if you send me a thing. Don't if I don't text back in half an hour, I'm probably busy. So don't get mad at me. Some people I get shocked that people do that, and I'm like, I talk about I go to work every day. but I'm having my Wheaties in a can. Yeah, I mean, to each their own. All right, folks, I'm getting going. You guys have a good one. Yeah, TC, we will be live on Sunday with a guest, a very good guest. So make sure you guys all join us then. And to all of you out there, thank you for being worth serving.
Coffee brewing as the sun peeks through the haze. Birds are chirping, serenading morning's praise. Front porch creaks as dreams fade away. America's awakened to a brand new day. Old vinyl spinning a sweet old tune. Day starts dancing under a sleepy moon. Newsprint smudges on fingers of grace. America's awakened at her own steady pace. Sips of sunshine in a coffee cup. Simple moments lifting spirits up. From the mountains to the sandy shore. Morning in America, want just a little more. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awakened with a heart full of shine. Old vinyl spinning a sweet old tune. Day starts dancing under a sleepy moon. Newsprint smudges on fingers of grace. America's awakened at her own steady pace. Sips of sunshine in a coffee cup. Simple moments lifting spirits up. From the mountains to the sandy shore. Morning in America, want just a little more. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awakened with a heart full of shine. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awakened with a heart full of shine. Tractors rumble, fields coming alive. Big wheels turning where hopes and dreams strive. Laughter echoes down the old dirt road. America's awakened to lighten her load. America's awakened to lighten her load.